Before buying a house, most people ask, can I afford it? But they're skipping a much more important question. In today's video, we're going to discuss 5 signs that you are not ready for home ownership and how to tell whether owning a home fits your finances, lifestyle, and long-term goals, so you can avoid making the most costly mistake of your life. Hey, I'm Katherine, founder of Imperfect Budget, and I help women feel less intimidated by money by taking confusing financial jargon and translating it into simple, easy to understand terms so that you can finally take control of your money. The first sign that you are not ready for home ownership is that you can't answer the question, why do you want to buy a home? In the United States, there is so much propaganda that owning a home is the only path to wealth. It's the American dream to own a home with a white picket fence. And my all-time favorite, rent is throwing away your money. But renting is just paying for a service. If you go on a vacation, are you going to buy the hotel just so that you can stay there for a few nights? Of course not. So why do we put the same judgment onto renting? Owning a home is actually a huge money suck. Between insurance, maintenance, repairs, taxes, you're lucky to break even on your home, even if it's increased in value. So I want to break the idea right now that owning a home is your best path to wealth, because honestly, it is not. After years as renters, my husband and I recently made the decision to buy a home, but we didn't buy it because we thought it was going to be a good investment for the future. We bought it because we were ready for a more suburban lifestyle, yard space, and we wanted the ability to make decisions and changes about our home without having to ask permission from a landlord. We didn't consider whether buying the home was the right way to invest in our real estate portfolio, or if the return in 30 years was going to be worth buying the home today. The ROI was our happiness. So before you even dream about buying a house, consider what you want for your life. Because if you can't answer the question, why do you want to buy a house? Then you have no business making the most expensive decision of your life. The next sign that you are not ready to be a homeowner is that you live in the city, but you can afford the suburbs. Your home should match the lifestyle that you want to live. You should not match your lifestyle to fit your housing. You should never try to squeeze your lifestyle into a certain home. Your lifestyle should expand by where you live. The third sign that you are not ready for home ownership is you do not want to fix toilets. Renting means somebody else takes care of all of your home problems, which saves you time, energy, and money. As a homeowner myself now, it is all on me. Every leaky sink and funky smell and dripping roof is all my problem. So if dealing with running toilets and broken furnaces is not part of your 5-year plan, just skip home ownership. Keep renting and let someone else take care of your home problems. All right, now it's time to move on to the money. Sign 4 that you are not ready for home ownership is your budget isn't ready. You cannot buy a home until your financial house is in order. You need 3 major things before you consider buying a home: an emergency fund, a down payment, and no credit card debt. An emergency fund must come first before you consider owning a home. You need to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses set aside in a savings account in case any emergencies occur. The last thing that you want to happen right after you buy your home is for a tree to fall on the roof, or to break your arm, or lose your job, and then all of a sudden you have a mortgage and no way to pay it. An emergency fund is an essential first step before you consider buying a home. The next thing you need is a down payment. Traditional advice recommends putting a 20% down payment. And if you can manage that, great, do it. Having a 20% down payment means that you won't have to pay PMI or private mortgage insurance. But realistically speaking, in many areas of the United States, 20% just isn't realistic. If all you can manage is a 10% down payment, that's fine. But remember, the more money you put towards the down payment, the lower your loan will be. So essentially, a higher down payment means a lower mortgage. So before putting down a down payment of less than 20%, consider whether you'll be able to afford the month-to-month payments of the mortgage if you have a lower down payment. The third reason your budget might not be ready yet to own a home is that you still have high interest credit card debt. Credit card debt is very expensive debt. Credit card interest rates are typically between 15 and 30%, sometimes even higher. With interest rates that high, it can be very easy for your debt to snowball into larger and larger quantities. If you're still trying to dig your way out of credit card debt, now is not the right time to purchase a home. Put all of your extra money into paying off that debt first so that you're in a more stable financial position when you are ready to buy the house. The fifth and final reason why you may not be ready to buy a home yet is that you haven't started saving for retirement. Now, this point may be a little controversial, but here's my take. Home ownership has been pushed as the path to wealth for generations. And it's true to a certain extent. My parents' home is worth 4 times as much as they paid for it back in 1990. That is a huge return on their initial investment. But here's the catch. If they want to access that money, they have to sell the house. And they don't want to sell the house. They want to live in it. A retirement portfolio held in an account like an IRA or a 401k is very liquid and easy to access. That makes it the ideal way to save for retirement. When you hit retirement age, you simply need to withdraw the money, which to me makes it much more valuable to your retirement than any increase in value of your home. So there you have it. 5 signs that you are not ready for home ownership. If you have more to add to the list, leave me a comment below. I'd love to know what they are. And if you enjoyed this video, you might check out this one right here. I think you'll like it.